Alright, so this video is going to be about algebra S.15, and this is on page 47 in your journal. So we're going to write a couple things in the journal, then I'll show you a couple of examples on IXL. So to the journal. Alright, page 47, and again this is IXL, the homework assignment, S.15. And basically we're comparing y-intercepts, y values, slopes. Okay? So it's going to ask you to get the slope. It's going to ask you to get the y-intercept. Oops. And then y values. So those are the three things it's going to ask you to do on this. So first, slope. There's going to be a couple ways that you're going to have to get the slope. One way is from an equation. And the way you do that, it's the one that you squiggly. So for example, if it says y equals 4x plus 3, this one has the x, so you squiggly this one, so your slope would be 4. Okay? And then number 2 is from a graph, and then you'll need to go to page 43 to do that, and I'll show you an example. Okay? For the y-intercept, the banana, from the equation, should have done this in yellow. From the equation, what you'll need to do, and you can always pause this video if I'm going too fast. From the equation, it's the one that you underline, the one without x or y. So if we did negative x plus 3, this is the squiggly. It's a negative 1 would be your slope. This one does not have x or y, so your y-intercept would be 3. The answer would be y-intercept is 3. From a graph, it's where it's on the banana, is where it's on the y-axis. Okay? That's also on page 31, 32, 23, 24, lots of different pages for examples on that one. Now, y values. It's going to be like Q.9 that we did, and that is on page, oh no, I think it's like 17. I mean, it's way back here. It's on page 26. Okay, that's how you get it from a graph, page 26. But I'll show you examples. That's from a graph. Now, if it gives you an equation, for example, if it says this equation, y equals 2x plus 1, and it says the x value is 5. What you're going to do is rewrite this. I recommend doing it with pencil. You rewrite it. You write the equation again, and then you're going to erase the x, and if it says 5, you're going to put 5 in parentheses in its place. And then you're going to put this, you're either going to do in your head, 2 times 5 plus 1 gives you 11. I did it in my head, 2 times 5, because parentheses means multiply. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. That's your y value. Y value is 11. You can also do it on the calculator. You can do it on Desmos, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So I'll have the link for you, but it's the Desmos scientific calculator. And go to Desmos, it's online. You don't have to pay for anything, you don't have to download the app. You put 2 parentheses 5 plus 1, and you got the same thing I got. That's one way of doing it with technology. The other way of doing it, I'm recording a video. It's kind of awkward because I'm the only one in here. That's one way of doing it. But let me show you an example on algebra. So this is S.15, algebra, not 8th grade, algebra, S.15. And so let me get there. Okay, so in this first example, if it loads, it gives you the graph and it gives you the equation. And it wants to know, it's talking about the slope. So I have to find the slope of the graph, and I have to find the slope of the equation. The slope in the graph, I pick my 2 points, and I draw the stairs, and I count like we've been doing. So there's a point there. No, that was a bigger highlighter mark than I wanted. I'm going to have to zoom in because I can't see. Cannot see. Okay, and you can always zoom in on yours.
1 and 6.
there's one here, there's one there. So yeah, I'm going to draw the triangle, the stairs. So it's rising 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. So your slope is 5 over 1 on the graph. So I'm going to compare it to the slope of this, and it's the squiggly. The one I squiggly is the 3 because it has an x. So the slope here is 5, the slope here is 3 because it's the one with the x. So it's saying A is, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, A is greater, the slope here is 5, the slope here was 3. So is it greater? Yes. And I click this one because the slope here is greater. So let me show you another one. It says slope again. So I do the same thing I just did, is I find out the slope of both of them. The one that you squiggly here is the 2 because it's the one with x. Here there's a point there, and there's a point there, and I rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 over 1. So is the slope of A greater? No, because the slope here is 5 over 1 compared to 2. So I would say that this one is less. And I click the one that says less. Alright, I'm trying to show you a different type, but I guess it's not showing up. Again, slope, but it's going to ask you for, let's just say it said x value. It'll say x value. If it's on a graph, if it says the x value of 1, you look here, and then the y value would be 7. Okay, let's just say it said the x value is 1. Then here on this problem, for B, the y value, here's 1. The point is here. The output is 7. In this problem, I would have to solve it. So my x is 1. Okay, so I would write 3, 3x, because that's the equation, 3x. Come on, let me type it. 3x plus 1. Then I'm going to erase the x, and in place of x, I'm putting parentheses, and my x is 1, so I put 1 in place of it. And then 3 times 1 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. So my y value is 4. That's how you do the x and y values.